Hey guys, welcome back to another Scuderia car parts video. Today we're having a look at this 812 and it is one of the best we've ever done. This guy threw the kitchen sink at it. He's done full decat exhaust, he's done wheels, he's done lowering springs, carbon, and it's on a Rosso Fuoco car, and this is easily one of the best we've ever looked at. So as always, we'll whip around, we'll have a look at all the stuff he's put on, and then we'll have a listen to what the exhaust sounds like before and after. Thanks for watching. First thing to touch on is at the front. So two things to look at here. First one is we've done Novitec's NF10 wheels. So that's 21 in the front, 22 inch in the back, and they've got these really clever center lock things. So we had a look at this on the Urus wide body that we did, but essentially it looks like a center lock, but this comes out and then these sort of hands of the star cover the 5 bolts for the wheels. So basically what it means is, you know, if you've got a GT3 and you break down at the side of the road, you need a 6-foot torque wrench to get the wheels off. Not the case with this. You just pop this off, unscrew the 5 bolts, and then the wheel comes off as normal, but it looks like a center lock, so it's great. This particular customer went with the Novitec center locks. We haven't installed spacers on this. At the moment, we don't think it needs it. It's actually quite flush with the arches. Customer has got them if he wants to install them, so we'll kind of touch base on that in a week or so once he's driven it. As you can see, the tyres that we've used are Pirelli P0, which is kind of standard fare. These are kind of some of the best tyres on the market available today. And then finally, at the front, we've also done this absolutely massive wraparound chin spoiler. So normally the car has these two kind of moustaches down here. Sometimes they're in carbon, other times they're in plastic, but the Novitec version wraps around the entirety of the front, which is something that you can't get from factory, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So next thing we'll do is we'll go and have a look at the rear lip spoiler. So the other thing to mention is the lowering springs. So obviously because the wheels are kind of cocked, you can't really see how much we've lowered it by, but the back gives a much better sort of example. There's not a lot in there, which is fantastic because this is how the cars should look. And in fact, it's hilarious, right? Because if you look at the marketing images that Ferrari puts out of all of their cars, they're always lowered as compared to the cars that actually end up in customers' hands. KW make the springs, Novitec supply them. We've lowered the car by 25 mil. Springs are variable rates, which is really good. So what that means is, you know, when you're doing relaxed driving and you're not putting much load, really comfortable, compliant ride as you would get from the car normally. So there's kind of no change there. But then the second you load up the suspension, the springs firm up and you'll find that there's a lot less body roll and sort of diving and pitching of the nose, under accelerating and braking. So it's not just an aesthetic thing, it does actually have an actual impact on how the car drives. The other thing to mention is that we insist once you've lowered the car on doing a full geometry realignment, especially with cars like this that have got 4-wheel steer. We need to make sure that an 800 brake horsepower car is going to go in a straight line when you floor it. So yeah, customers lowered it with these wheels. It just looks the absolute bomb. Absolutely love the way that it looks. Final thing to mention at the back is, if you come up here, we've installed the 3-piece lip spoiler. So again, this isn't something that you can get from the factory, but it looks amazing. So it's kind of, you know, on the actual tailgate itself and then either side. The carbon itself matches the OEM weave perfectly, so it's kind of indistinguishable here to here, and it looks absolutely great. Final thing to talk about is the exhaust. So there are a few different stages, and we've talked about them ad nauseum, but we'll run you through them once again. Stage 1 is when we just do the rear silencers. Stage 2 is when we do the rear silencers and the X-pipe, which replaces the center muffler. Typically that's what we go for, so we call that stage 2. Still sort of, you know, we'll fly through an MOT, absolutely no problem. Not too loud, just kind of a nice increase as compared to normal. But this customer, as I said, has thrown the kitchen sink at it. You know, he's done the full decat. So we haven't done one of these for a while, and they sound absolutely unbelievable. As you'll hear in a minute, they are. This is, you know, if you're going to go and buy a 6.5 litre, 800 horsepower V12, it might as well have the soundtrack to go with it. And this thing, it's just so aggressive. But then the beauty of it is you've still got the valves, so you can close the valves, and then it's actually really usable. So, you know, we had one of these. In fact, the last guy who did one, you know, we took it for a drive just to see what it was like, and with the valves closed, no one was looking at us, we weren't breaking any necks, we weren't bursting any eardrums. It's totally usable, but then as soon as you open the valves up with the remote, all hell breaks loose. It's awesome. So yeah, what we'll do now is we'll have a listen to it before and after. As always guys, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a like. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.